Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this event co-organized by two Horizon Europe projects, SOILL-Startup and ECHO. They have been funded under the mission SOIL. We are going to delve into it in a second. In the meantime, I want to take some minutes to let the people joining us online to connect. I'm sure that they are slowly joining us. My name is Gabriele Quattrocchi. I work for Trust IT Services, which is the work package leader for communication and dissemination activities within SOILL-Startup. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. Before going ahead with the presentation of the mission SOIL and some key concepts revolving around it, I would like to give you some communication concerning this event. So it will be recorded, and the contact detail will be shared among those who provided their consent for networking activities and the pitches. At the very end of this event, we are going to have a session with 13 pitchers. So I would like to invite you all to stay until the very end, as this is a very important networking opportunity for all of you willing to prepare a proposal addressing the topics financing the SOIL, mission SOIL living labs. Before going ahead, let's take a look at the mirror. So until yesterday in the afternoon, we had 177 registrants, and most of them coming from research organizations. This is not surprising, to be honest, because in previous events we had more or less the same percentage of people registered coming from research organizations. And we also tried to tailor the concept of these and the content of this event based on your answers to the registration forms. We know that most of you is aware and has a direct experience in the preparation of EU projects, and also is aware of the living lab concepts, even though most of you do not have a direct experience with living labs. So this is the agenda for today's event. We are going to have a deep dive into soil literacy. What does this mean, and which is the importance of soil literacy within the mission SOIL. Our main aim is to provide you with the tools to address the funding opportunities which have been published recently by the European Commission, and prepare a competitive proposal. So I would like to give you some key elements on the mission SOIL. The mission SOIL has been launched in 2021, and the overarching goal of these initiatives, which has been funded by the European Commission, and it is embedded in the Horizon Europe Research and Innovation Funding Program, is to establish a network of more than 100 living labs and lighthouses, which are supposed to lead the transition towards a healthy soil by 2030. Connected to this overarching goal, there are 8, as you can see, specific operational goals, which revolve around soil health. And number 8 is improve soil literacy in society. So why we need the living labs, why it is important, why the Mission Soil is investing so much in creating this network of living labs across Europe. So basically, the living labs are user-based and place-based environment, which represent co-design and innovation ecosystems where several categories of actors collaborate to achieve a same goal, addressing different challenges, which can be connected to the different 8 specific objectives that we mentioned at the beginning. We are going to provide additional information on the concepts revolving around the Living Lab and especially the Mission Soil Living Labs. For now, I'd like to draw your attention on this figure. These are the 4 building blocks of the Mission Soil. And as you can see, the second one is living labs and lighthouses, while the 4th one, the red one, is soil literacy. So these 2 blocks are closely connected, and we will show you how. I would like now to introduce our first speaker, Igor Boni from IPLA. He is going to give us a quite deep insights on what is happening at a regional level here in Piedmont region, which is warmly hosting this event. So I would like to turn over to him now. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gabriele, and good morning, everyone. And thank you all very much for joining us today and for dedicating your time to this important event focused on healthy soil and soil literacy. If you agree, I start my presentation. Okay, and first of all, what is IPLA, where I have been working since 1994, 30 years. IPLA is l'Istituto Piante da Legno Ambiente, Institute for Wood Plants and Environment, is a company owned by the Piedmont region, established in 1979, with almost half a century of history. We are the operational branch of the region within the territory, among out many tasks in forestry, natural conservation, waste management, and pest insect control. And we are also responsible for the soil service of Piedmont. We handle soil surveys, physical, chemical soil analysis, biodiversity assessment, preparation of soil maps at various scales, interpretation of pedological data to create derived maps, like land capability and land suitability. The regional soil database is managed by IPLA. In the lower part of this image, you can see 4 examples of plain soils, just to show you the incredible variability of Piedmont soils. Our soil database contains over 12,000 observations, soil profiles and manual drills, and over 10,000 analyzed samples, and about 850 soil types have been identified and described. Most of this information can be freely downloaded from the Piedmont region's website and the Piedmont GeoPortal. Maps at various scales, description of mapping units and soil types, and derived maps are available to the public, technicians, and all farmers. Already in 2006, 20 years ago, the European Soil Protection Strategy precisely identified the threats to soils and outlined the steps member states should take to mitigate these threats. Soil degradation has finally been recognized across Europe and in many countries as a critical issue for food security, for biodiversity, and for climate resilience. This recognition is a significant achievement for pedologists and soil scientists like me, who have studied soil for decades and have long called for attention. On June 4th, some days ago, the first step on the proposed EU directive on soil health law was approved by the Commission. Yet, Italy still lacks legislation protecting soil from this threat, and degradation continues. This is a major issue because soil is the only natural resource without legislative protection in our country, in Italy. And this is a big problem. In the low part of this image, another for soil, ill soil. And in this situation, the erosion makes this soil uniform with only little differentiation in the horizon. And on the left, the station for extracting microfauna for the calculation of quality biodiversity soil index, QBS index. And now soil map at different scales. The 250,000 scale soil map is an inventory of the main soil types and their regional geographic distribution. It supports broad-scale planning in agricultural, forestry, environmental, and then territorial sectors, and facilitates data usage for modeling and scenario creation at a regional scale. But this is more important. The most suitable planning tool to implement territorial policy decision is surely the 50,000 scale soil map. This map for Piedmont covers all plains, all hill areas, all moraine hills, and only some mountainous areas. Each year we progressively complete mapping mountainous regions, and the last territory that we study is Susa Valley near Turin. In this image, you can see a detailed view of the city of Turin, the River Po, and the surrounding hills. Colors identify different soil types, anti-soils in shades of blue, insectisoils in green and in yellow, and alphisoils in red and pink. Alphisoils are the old soil, and in the top of the hill where is Superga, and the antisoil that are youngest soil are near to the rivers. The erosion map and the organic carbon content map are two tools used by Piedmont's agricultural policy to guide European funding. Results have been very positive, as there has been a reversal trend for years now, and carbon accumulation is ongoing again. Soil capability highlights the productive potential of land succinctly and relates it to possible land use changes. This tool is used to identify areas suitable for ground-mounted photovoltaic energy production, excluding prime and second-class soils. This is a rule of the Piedmont region since 2010. From this diagram on the right, you can see that the first class and the second class represent only 20%, more or less, of all territory of Piedmont region. And now two important questions for this meeting. How can this knowledge assist educators, researchers, farmers, local authorities and citizens? And how can we promote practical solutions to value soil as a vital, non-renewable resource, reduce degradation, ensure soil health and preserve biodiversity and climate resilience? Briefly, we operate on three levels. Firstly, using knowledge to guide policy choices and European funding, exemplified by funding to reduce erosion and increase carbon content and energy production. Secondly, we undertake soil monitoring project for municipalities, implementing the sealing practice, a novel area we have pursued only recently. Thirdly, we frequently disseminate soil knowledge among students and teachers. Thanks to pedological maps and knowledge of Piedmont soils, European agricultural policy funds have financed intervention reducing erosion and increasing organic carbon content in soils. Today, the challenge for our region is minimizing soil impacts for rapidly expanding hazelnut cultivation. In 2025, in this year, we have more or less 25,000 hectares of hazelnut cultivation. 20 years ago, 5,000. The difference is important. With the European funding and projects in recent decades, Piedmont has significantly reduced the frequency of superficial tillage with minimum tillage or no tillage, replacing traditional deep plowing once standard practice. Today, soil grassing between vineyard rows is common, whereas it was rare until the late 20th century. However, most importantly, farmers' involvement is essential, is crucial. Not just through funding, but by raising awareness of soil protection's significance, especially their own soils. Regarding the sealing, briefly, the case study of Cuneo involved analyzing and monitoring soil after asphalt removal from an abandoned military area and an extensive parking lot. It was our first experience seeing what remains of the soil beneath a road. It's a very interesting project for me. And lastly, disseminating knowledge. Funded by the region, we have frequently involved students from various educational levels with practical lessons in agriculture, forestry, ecology, and soils. Our headquarters within Superga Park, beautiful headquarters, occupies 30 hectares, often serving as an outdoor educational lab. And in the summer of 2024, upon invitation from Adamello Parks administrators in province of Trento, we conducted 2 days of soil education and training for primary school teachers. The interest shown in soil was remarkable. In this image, you can see my colleague Paolo and I in the woodland in front of two soil. Everything begins with soil, everything starts with soils, and everyone must be informed, everyone must be involved, and everyone must be mobilized. For us, for me, this isn't merely a job, but a profound conviction. And thank you for the invitation and for your attention. Good continuation of work to all of you. And thank you, Gabriele, and thank you, Resource Foundation.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Igor. It was a really nice example of how authorities and entities at territorial, regional or sub-regional level can work with soil and other entities on the territory to improve soil literacy. Now, I don't know if there are any questions for Igor here in the room, or in the virtual room. In any case, if you have any kind of question, even those connected from remote, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box and pose your questions. We will make sure to collect them and pose your questions to the speakers. Now, I would like to turn over to my colleagues and traveling companion, Alessio Lasina and Céline Laurent. They represent two different projects. Alessio Lasina worked with me with SOILL-Startup and Céline Laurent on ECHO project. Both of them are the co-organizers of this event, and I believe that this presentation will give you a hint of which activities they are carrying out and what they are offering to the SOIL community. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriele, for the presentation. And good morning to everyone, both here and online. Welcome in Turin, also from my side. I present myself. I'm Alessio Lasina. I'm a research fellow at CREA, that is a partner of SOILL-Startup. And I want to say also, like Gabriele said, feel free to ask questions also here and online. And I want to start from the origin of SOILL-Startup. The origin is SOIL, a superstructure for soil living labs, a framework partnership agreement for the period 2024-2030, with the aim to support the 100 living labs and lighthouses funded under Mission SOIL. And the SOILL-Startup won't cover the first 2 years for the period 2024-2025 with the aim to co-design, launch the SOIL one-stop structure for the coordination, support, enlargement, and promotion of this network, also in collaboration with the first waves of this soil health living lab and lighthouses and other key stakeholders and initiatives. SOIL is a comprehensive support framework for and want to support and onboard future applicants with comprehensive guidance, with matchmaking opportunities, and also with tailored service to ensure successful integration to the Mission SOIL Living Labs network, and also want to empower the existing Mission SOIL Living Labs by providing tools, training, and networking opportunities to enhance their impact and scalability. It was also engage the wider soil health community by fostering its connection and sharing best practices and providing resources to support soil health initiatives beyond the mission-funded labs. And last but not least, want also to foster a collaborative ecosystem where all the stakeholders can co-create solutions for have a better soil. The target group of soil, like I mentioned before, are the the Mission SOIL Living Labs and the applicants, but it's also important to highlight that there are also the European Soil Living Labs and lighthouses that are fully aligned with the Mission SOIL criteria, and also the emerging Living Labs and lighthouses initiatives, including on-the-ground experiment and the pilot projects that are not yet fully aligned with the mission criteria. And last but not least, there are the wider soil and living lab community, considering any individual organization at European and international level that want to collaborate with the soil living labs and lighthouses. The work of SOILL-Startup and SOIL is based on 3 pillars. The first is about living lab, regarding principles and methods, considering the entire life cycle of the living lab from planning and setup until the implementation and evaluation, considering also the governance and the long-term stability and viability. The second pillar is the soil technical teams, considering the Mission SOIL objectives and also the challenges that the soil face at regional level, and which are the function of the soil and which are the ecosystem services that the soil can aggregate. And also, of course, what is the soil health, which are the parameters and how to monitor the soil health status during the time. And the third pillar, the last one, is regarding transversal and cross-cutting aspects, for example, with the stakeholder engagement, how to do a responsible research and innovation project, and how to be aligned with the policies and how to contribute to achieve this policy at the European level, not only. And also the example are the digital innovation and which are the strategies of business and funding for this project, and also the open science and the data management. Like, sorry, I think that is kind of battery, maybe. Yes, I think that there is a problem, sorry. Thank you. And run. I'm sorry. Yes, next slide. Sorry. We arrive.
Thank you, Alessio. Sorry for this short interruption. Alessio was going to conclude his contribution. One of the things that I believe emerged from the presentation is that SOILL-Startup is working on growing and fostering the expansion of the network of living labs across Europe. Before turning over to Céline, I was wondering if there was any questions for Alessio in the room or on Zoom. I hope that on Zoom everyone connected can see the screen. In case of a positive answer, please react with a thumb up. This will really help us understand what is going on online. Thank you. Alessio, you were about to conclude your contribution. So, last.
Thank you, Gabriele, and for the assistance. So, yeah, like Gabriele said before, there are several specific objectives, and also, like we said, is in the second pillar of SOILL-Startup, and one of them is improve soil literacy in society. And in Europe, there are several projects that are funded that want to achieve this specific object, and one of them is ECHO. So we have the opportunity today to know more about this project. So I want to introduce Céline Laurent, that she will explain to us this interesting project. So I say thank you to all, and Céline, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessio. So, hi everybody, I'm Céline Laurent from Free University of Bolzano, and I'm here to represent ECHO, so Engaging Citizens in Soil Science, the road to healthier soils. So first, what is ECHO? ECHO is a Horizon European project, which is co-funded by the European Union, and in ECHO we are 16 partners in 9 countries, 8 of the European Union and Scotland. And the aim of ECHO is to, ECHO is contributing to the European mission SOIL, and it's a project coordinated by Professor Tania Mimo at the Free University of Bolzano. So now the aim of ECHO is to engage citizens in protecting and restoring soils by building their skills and enhancing their knowledge. ECHO has started in 2023, in June 2023, and since that moment we developed and organized citizen science initiatives that have started a few weeks ago, so in spring 2025, and will continue in the 9 countries of the different partners of ECHO until the summer 2026. The objectives of ECHO are what we call the 3 E's for citizens. First is to engage citizens by inviting them to increase their knowledge on soil, soil health, and providing them resources for that. Then it's to empower them by stimulating from what they learned, and they increase their knowledge, but to participate to data collection on soil health. And then it's to enable them from what they learned with increasing their knowledge to make them able to participate in decision making on soil issues. So for that, we have built tools and we have activities. So we will do 28 tailor-made citizen science initiatives across the EU member states. The aim is to sample 16,500 sites in different climate and biogeographic regions, so including different land uses types and according to different stakeholder needs also. And this sample phase will be divided in 2 iterations. So as I just said before, we already started in the 9 countries of the different partners since spring 2025 until 2026. And the second phase will start in 2026 until 2027 in the other 19 countries of the EU. And for that, for the ECHO community, we have made a citizen science toolkit, which is a free resource including open access field protocols, field guidelines, step-by-step protocols, and also a mobile app that is already available on the Google Play Store and soon on App Store. And the name of the app is ECHO Soil. If you want to, if you're already participating in ECHO or you want to participate. And we also have the ECHO repo, which is a long-term open access repository with a direct link to the USO, so the European Soil Observatory. So what we do in ECHO with the ECHO community, the aim is to assess the 8 soil health indicators outlined by the Mission Soil Implementation Plan by analyzing the indicator with the ECHO kit. So the ECHO kit, it's like the different tools you see on the picture. So we provide guidelines, a trowel to dig the soil, and then different tools to analyze the different indicators, which are the vegetation cover, the forest cover, the landscape heterogeneity, the organic carbon stock, structure and texture, the pH, soil biodiversity, and pollutants. So this allows citizens that are participating in ECHO to collect data on soil health on site on these 8 indicators, and are also contributing on off-site activities by returning to our labs 2 soil samples for soil biodiversity analysis on the composition that we will analyze for the composition of bacteria and fungi communities, and also to analyze the concentration of metals in soil. So these are the 2 off-site activities. And about the on-site activities, they will upload all the data they collected on the ECHO app. You can see here a screenshot, which is connected directly to the ECHO repo. So they will access all the data, and we will also upload the data from the lab to the ECHO repo. So then they will have the full picture of their sample, but not only their sample, the other sample from other citizens that collected soil in the different countries. And for that, we also provide people the fact sheets for soil health indicators that give information on the different soil health indicators, what it is, why it is important for soil, in case of soil degradation, what can happen. Also detailed field protocols that will guide them step by step on the field, and also training videos for the different soil health indicators, so they can get trained also watching these videos and getting to go to the field like ready. And you have these videos available on the YouTube channel of ECHO, and here is the link. And finally, how do we work in ECHO? So we have a specific workflow. So us as the ECHO team, so not only UniBZ, but all the partners of the project, we started to engage ambassadors, which are citizens like you and me, and were interested in soil health issues. And they were different in the different countries, different workshops for ambassadors to give them some keys of soil health, citizen science, how to engage people. And they engage citizens. Now they are training them, distributing kit. Actually, it's already started in Italy and I think Spain also, and maybe Portugal. And so they trained also citizens. They give them instruction. They are working with them to go on the field and collect soil samples. And then the citizens will collect the data, upload them on the ECHO app, and they will return us samples to the laboratories. We will analyze them. And this data together will fill the ECHO repo to give, which is open access, and that will give we think, valuable data for soil health assessment. So thank you for your attention. If you have any question, I'm here. And now I give the floor to Margherita Caggiano from ReSoil to give us the importance of soil literacy.
Thank you, Céline. And I just want to anticipate that we have an ECHO ambassador here today who will present the experience of ECHO ambassadors in this area. So we are looking forward to Christina's presentation. And now I will dive deep into the topic of today's event because, can I go? Do you want to introduce? No, can I keep going? So as Gabriele said before, today we are talking about living labs, about the new call for living labs, but this is also a thematic event. So the main topic of today is soil literacy. And you have seen the topic introduced by other speakers before, but I will give you a focus on why this topic is so important for the soil mission and in Europe in general. Just 2 words about who we are. We are a foundation called ReSoil Foundation, an Italian organization founded 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, by 4 funding partners. So our funding partners are University of Bologna, Coldiretti, who is our bridge, our connection with farmers, Novamont, a company producing biochemicals and bioplastics, and Turin Polytechnic. So the foundation is matching all the skills and expertise of these founding partners. And our main mission is to promote soil health. So we are very focused on soil, increasing awareness about soil and promoting activities to protect our soils. 4 main goals, 4 main areas of activities. The first one is to connect as much as possible stakeholders at the Italian and at the European level. When we start working, we found out that the soil sector is very much fragmented in a way at the Italian and at the European level. So we are trying to facilitate connection among the different stakeholders. So the research, but also farmers, policymakers, and all the partners, stakeholders that are involved in this big challenge. And another important bit of this activity is the connection between the European soil mission and what happened at the national level. So all our activities are strongly connected to the European soil mission. The second area of activities is education, communication, and dissemination, and soil literacy improvement. And that's probably the reason why today I'm talking about this topic, because we put a lot of effort in soil literacy activities and communication activities to reach a wide range of target audiences. So we talk to academia, research center, but we try to reach out also to the civil society and to citizens in general. Our third area of activity is the connection between agriculture and research. We built a network of lighthouse farms in Italy, and today we have with us one of the lighthouse farms that is part of this network, who will talk later on. And we try to bring this lighthouse farm they represent the diversity of the Italian agricultural scenario, so different agricultural practice, different best practice for soil health, but they are all very much committed to protect soil health. So we try to connect them, to exchange best practice and give them visibility, and we are trying to involve these lighthouse farms as much as possible also in European activities. And the fourth area is policy shaping or advocacy. So we monitor what happened at the European level and at the Italian level in terms of soil legislation, and try to provide input also to the policymakers in order to push for legislation that are able to protect soil. We are all aware about the soil monitoring law, which is finally getting to the end of its approval process. So hopefully we'll be ready to start soon and will also be implemented in Italy. So let's get into the soil literacy topic. This is a definition that I borrowed from a workshop that it's been organized in last March, in ISPRA, the JRC Center in Italy. And we had this workshop which put together around 10 European projects funded by the Mission Soil that are really focused on soil literacy, or that have among their activities soil literacy as one of the main goals. So soil literacy combines broad awareness with specialized understanding across a range of disciplines through communication and educational activities that bring soil closer to people's life. We are all aware that soil is a vital resource, not renewable, and it's indispensable for the life on Earth, but its value is often underestimated because of a lack of knowledge. I believe we have been talking a lot more about air and water in the last 10, 20 years, so people have a higher level of awareness about this type of resources. Soil is less known, and this is one of the main reasons why it's not very well protected. And it's not just me saying that, but it's also the Soil Mission, as my colleague showed before. Improved soil literacy is one of the main goals and pillars of the Mission Soil. So it's really at the core of most of the European funded projects that we are talking about today. So how to improve soil literacy? I will bring some examples from what we do as a foundation and from what a couple of European projects do. There are a lot of examples in this at the moment. There are also cascade funding calls that are opening, promoted by other projects funded by the Horizon Mission Soil. So I really invite you to explore the other projects that work in this sector, but I will bring you some examples that I know the best. So for example, it's important we communicate a lot online. As I said, we don't communicate only to the academia, to the research sector, but we try to write daily news that are published on our website and on our social media, on our newsletters, that can also be understandable by citizens in general. So it's very important to try and make information understandable by the general public. We also organize events, and we organize events for more B2B partners, but also for civil society and students and school. One of the main events we organize is the State Generals for Soil Health Conference that take place every year at ECHO Mondo in Rimini in November. So I invite all of you to join the event if you can, if you have the opportunity. World Soil Day, you may be aware that 5th December every year there is World Soil Day, so we organize one specific event for this occasion, and we also participate in other events. And this is also another good opportunity to raise awareness about soil. And a couple of months ago, we had an in-person meeting with our lighthouse farm in Rome. At the end of 2023, we published a report about the situation of Italian soils. So it can be downloaded for free by using the QR code or going on our website. There are a lot of free resources that can be used to improve soil literacy. Some examples of what we have done in the last 4 or 5 years with school. We have put together a series of workshops for teachers. The topic is didactic teaching elements to teach soil. We have developed another resource which is aimed at explaining soil to primary school students and secondary school students. And again, it can be downloaded for free from our website, and it's been downloaded 7,500 times. So we are seeing a real interest in this topic. And then we participate in some event on the local territories. I will talk about that a bit later in the context of ECHO. And we also did an art experiment 3 years ago by asking an artist to produce a sculpture, and then this sculpture was used to organize events in different cities and talk about soils. Art is another very important element in terms of improving soil literacy. I have seen, for example, yesterday that one of the projects funded by the European Mission Soil, SOILL-Scape, I think, is launching a proposal about connecting music and soil to improve also. So I invite you to take a look at that initiative as well. So another couple of examples, and then I'm going to wrap up. We are all, as a foundation, as ReSoil Foundation, we are partner of 2 projects funded by the European Mission Soil. One is Prep Soil. Prep Soil is going to finish at the end of this month. So I invite you to look at the website, because you will find a lot of deliverables, a lot of results, because we are really closing the project. And today I want to focus on what Prep Soil has done for improving soil literacy. The project launched for 2 years in a row contest for best teaching practices, and I'm proud to say that Italy gave a very good response to that. So half of the projects that were submitted to the call came from Italy, and in 2024, 4 of the winners were from Italian schools. So we asked teachers to present their program that they are using with students to talk about soils, and then a committee chosen by the project selected the best teaching practices about soils. Again, one of the main goals in this case was to encourage other teachers to adopt similar practices and replicate these type of experiences. Another important activity promoted by Prep Soil is the Prep Soil TV. So you can go on the website and you will have the opportunity to look at more than 80 videos with interview to communities of practice, to group of people that are working to protect soil in their local areas, to farmers, to soil ambassadors and soil advocates. So it's a very important, again, free tool. Prep Soil has also developed an app that can be helpful also to launch query to get information about soil in a specific area. So if you are a technician working in the sector, the Prep Soil mobile app can be interesting. And also for organizations interested in developing living labs, Prep Soil has done a lot of work in defining business model for living labs. And this is a work that has been taken on by SOILL-Startup. So it will be continued by the SOILL-Startup project. You have already seen this slide presented by Céline before, so I will skip that. Just want to bring you a couple of examples of soil literacy that are being developed in ECHO. The first one is an interactive kit, which is destined to high school students, so teenagers mainly, and will be launched next month. So it will be available as a supporting tool for teachers, but also for students to play and learn about soils. And as I said, a couple of years ago, we participated at the Science Festival in Genova, a very good experience with more than 1,000 students visiting the laboratory about soils and about ECHO. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Margherita. I hope that all of you can hear me from this mic. Okay. I believe that this introduction, this contribution from ECHO really gives us a sense, a feeling of the importance of soil literacy, the importance of involving different types of actors in this aspect. And I would like also to thank all the colleagues in the previous contributions, because I believe that the fil rouge, the red wire connecting the contributions at these events, is the capacity to connect soil literacy with the funding opportunities. And the next session will host a panel of speakers, which will not only collect inspiring experiences on soil literacy, but also provides a successful example of connection between soil literacy and a funded Mission Soil Living Lab, which is here in Turin, actually, and which has been funded under the Mission Soil within one of the projects of the first wave of funding topics, which is Living Soil. So I would allow this little speaker turnover. So I will invite all the speakers involved in the panel to take the seat here at the desk. I would like to warmly thank again Margherita, Alessio, Celine, and Igor. And while the speakers take their seat, I would like to introduce my colleague Fabiana, who is going to moderate this session. I believe that there is also a question from remote, a question for Igor Boni. I don't know if my colleague Nicole, who is interacting with you from remote, can allow the person who posed the question to speak and pose the question directly.
So Maria Kireva asked, are you targeting only Piedmont region or upscaling is possible?
Yeah, thank you so very much for this opportunity to ask.
So I refer only a Piedmont region, but every region can make this practice with the European fund. But I know only situation of Piedmont region.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Did you get that from home?
Yes.
Okay, good.
There is another question.
Yeah.
From Eric Ben Myrn.
Okay.
He asked, the Eco Ambassadors application is still open?
Is the Eco Ambassador application still open? No.
No, in Italy we had an overwhelming response, so we had to close the call after like a month or so. We had like 120 ambassadors, so in Italy it's closed. Oh, sorry, I missed that information. We don't have a call open in Israel because we had calls in all the partner of the consortium, of the Eco Project Consortium. So Israel, unfortunately, is not one.
It will be in the second iteration of ECO, so starting in 2026, so soon.
But not Israel, right? No.
No.
Thanks a lot. So I would like to hand over now to my colleague, Fabiana.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabriele. Thank you, everyone. I think also Luca, is a part of the panel, and Christina as well. So thank you to joining us. As Gabriele said, I'm Fabiana De Carlo. I work for Trust IT. We are a communication partner of SOILL-Startup, and I'm really pleased to join this panel of experts today. Early before, we heard about how soil literacy is important and for soil health, and how this fits also in the priority of the European Commission, of the European Union in general. While now we're going to look at more in deep in the success stories. So on moving on how soil literacy is actually happening in the community and in communities, but also in living labs. So we also have a strong regional focus, I would say, because most of the speeches of the insights are from Piedmont and Turin. And I don't want to steal much time from the speakers, because I'm sure they have a lot of interesting experience to share. And I'd like to start with Sara Negri, Dr. Sara Negri from the University of Turin. She's working directly, is involved in one of the first living labs funded under the Mission Soil, which is the Northwest Italy Piedmont Living Lab. And it is under the Living Soil project. So Sara, over to you.
Thank you. May I stand? May I stand?
As you prefer, of course, okay. Yes.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'm Sara Negri from the Department of Agriculture, Forest and Food Sciences of the University of Torino. And I'm happy to present the work we are doing in fostering soil knowledge in the Living Lab of the Piemonte Hills. And we are a network of 5 countries, and each country selected some permanent crops to work on, because the aim of the project is to restore soil health beneath permanent crops. So for us, Italy, we've selected vineyards, hazelnut orchards, and chestnut orchards. And these are our national partners. And these to the left are some beautiful examples of the landscapes we are dealing with. And to the right, what you see, these red dots that are scattered across the whole hilly rural areas of Piedmont are our steady areas. And we've already seen the map below. That's the erosion map. And as you see, some of our red dots are located on areas of high erosion, the dark red shaded areas. So we have erosion, we have other challenges in these intensively cultivated landscapes. How do we solve this issue? So classical research would want us to go step by step. So start in lab, move to the greenhouse, and then to possibly an experimental field, but still we would remain within the boundaries of research. Whereas the co-creation in the living lab shifts the paradigm to real-life condition, and we can move beyond the classical research approach. So to exist, the co-creation needs different actors. There's us, the academics, the consultants, the farmers, and we all have to interact. We've tried to keep this co-creation going from the very beginning with preliminary discussions, then the selection of the areas, and for this, we relied on the experience of the consultants, of their knowledge of the landscape. Then we gathered all together in a co-creation workshop where we had the opportunity to directly speak to the farmers. Then we did some preliminary field sampling to actually identify the problems in the field and hypothesized by that some agronomical practices to be implemented to solve the problems. And also what we are trying to do is to try and create a common knowledge on soil science. And for this, there was first a creation of a repository that all the partners could contribute to with some material, didactic material on soil. And a first focus group was created to elaborate a questionnaire on soil science that was later sent to all the partners to be filled in. And once this was done, the answers were elaborated by a second focus group. This one was specific of each living lab. And what happened that by knowing the answers of the people, we have an idea of what aspects of soil science are more or less familiar to the different actors, and also how can we perform an effective knowledge transfer? Do some type of actors rely more, do they prefer didactic material in forms of videos or written material or frontal lessons? And this is just a hint of some answers of the Italian Living Lab, the answers of our Living Lab, yes. And this is what we see is self-perception of soil knowledge. That is, of course, different according to the type of actor. But what's interesting is that self-perception is different from the verified knowledge. And also, what's interesting to note is that the reliance on the sources of information is different depending on the type of actor. So, for example, as academics, we rely a lot on the opinion of colleagues, whereas, for example, farmers do not rely at all on the opinion of other farmers. And to conclude, I would like to say that the collaboration of different actors has proved until now that it's possible to foster soil knowledge and improve soil health. And with this specific eye on the needs of all the actors, we aim at improving these landscapes and making them more resilient and sustainable in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sara. It was like really nice that you stressed one of the pillars of the Living Lab. So the co-creation, the aim of like getting outside of the lab and get in touch with the people, get in touch with the people that actually work with soil, and so it was really interesting. I'd like to keep like the question from the public later, but I have a question from myself, also because we know that probably in the audience we have a lot of potential applicants, and I was wondering whether you have any tips, any insights on like, or better, like any words of encouragement for them, like from the proposal phase, which is, we know, quite hard, but since you are already working in a project and with living labs, yeah, if you can say a few words on this, like if you are satisfied or if you can have, you know, like any good words on this.
Okay, I didn't write myself, of course, the project, but I can say that I've seen my professor doing it, and she tried to engage with as many stakeholders as possible. So she relied from other people of the university that study different sectors. So it's permanent crops. So she talked with a lot of people dealing with permanent crops, and also with other regional entities that deal with the farmers, and of course the important figures of the consultants. These people really know what to tell the farm. They are the ones telling the farmer what to do, when to apply the treatments, and so there are also these in-between figures that are very important, and I think this is the key to be in contact with as many stakeholders as possible. It's hard for us, at least. We are academics, we are trying to go out, and so we have to go out. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will always invite people from home and also from the public. If you have any question, please raise your hands. We will have a Q&A session right after the session. While now I'm introducing Luca Battisti he's a researcher always from UNITO, University of Turin, in geography. And he's going to tell us more about his involvement in the research project regarding the urban regeneration. So I leave the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. It's Luca Battisti here. Good morning, everyone. I'm from the University of Turin Department of Culture, Politics and Society. That's me. Now, I would like to talk about the new soil and the urban forest as nature-based solutions in Turin. Just mixing probably talking about living labs, and especially the nature-based solutions as living labs, and about the new soil, that is kind of the new nature-based solutions we implemented, and we are still monitoring these nature-based solutions over time. Let me introduce you to the project that now is ended, but was called PROGIREG. So that means Productive Green Infrastructure for Post-Industrial Urban Regeneration. That was a 5-year project funded by the European Commission. And this was based on the implementation of nature for the urban regeneration of post-industrial areas in Europe and in China. So there was really an international partnership composed by 4 front-runner cities, of course Turin, then Dortmund, Zagreb, and Ningbo in China, and then 4 followers, Cascais, Piraeus, Cluj-Napoca, and Zenica. The aim of this project was to implement and test 8 different types of nature-based solutions. In Italy, in Turin, we implement 7 out of 8 nature-based solutions. Each nature-based solution was considered as a unique living lab. Turin was selected because, well, the strong history related to the Fiat car manufacturing, especially we selected the Mirafiori South district as the neighborhood where to implement the nature-based solutions, and we had also control area in the upper north, that means Barriera di Milano. So we had 2 different neighborhoods, the one in the upper north and the second in Mirafiori in the southern part of Turin. One of the nature-based solutions we implement, sorry, one step back. What are nature-based solutions? When this project was funded, the European Commission defined nature-based solutions as solutions that should address, at least to achieve 2 goals. The first, to provide ecosystem services to humans, and then the second, to provide well-being to the ecosystem. So try to be less anthropocentric and more ecocentric, let's say this way. Now nature-based solutions are not defined as solutions, but as actions. So also all the actions I can do in order to improve the soil, well, let's call well-being of soil. If we consider soil as more than human, then maybe we can discuss a bit of it, but can be defined as actions. In this case, in the post-industrial places, we try to recreate a new soil. That means like a blend obtained by mixing excavate soil coming from construction site with compost, zeolites, and mycorrhizae in order to recreate a soil where to plant trees. Why? Because within cities, if you would like to create a proper urban green spaces, you have to take the soil from outside the city, from the peri-urban fringe. That means you take normally the fertile soil and you bring it to the city, or try to figure out how to recreate a fertile soil that can host trees. In this case, we try to mix different types of elements in order to recreate a soil that we can reuse in order to upscale and outscale our nature-based solutions across different cities within Europe. So we test this new soil and we planted different trees in the southern part of Turin, in Mirafiori South neighborhood, using the concept of urban forest. That means a lot of trees really close to each other. In this case, not so close to each other. That means 2 meters and per 2 meters. That means this is something like from the table to Fabiana, like the distance. And we are still monitoring the effect of the new soil on the vegetation and vice versa. So this is what we are doing, what we've done, and then we are still continuing monitoring this place. In order to implement nature-based solutions, it's important to really engage different types of stakeholder. For nature-based solutions, it's important to use what is called the quadruple helix approach. That means involving citizens, involving public administration, involving the private sector, and involving the academia and university. So this is our main results and experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was really, really interesting and how research can really improve the even well-being within the city and to reconnect with the nature. I do have a question also for you, like as you mentioned, quadruplegic approach means that you have to deal with different actors. So again, going out from the universities and try to engage with different perspectives. So have you found any difficulties, any limit in this?
Yes, thank you. Well, apart from technical issue on creating the new soil, but yeah, we found mainly three different challenges. The first one is that, okay, now we realize this urban forest, but then who takes care of it over time? When the project is ended, who will take the responsibility? Who will care them? Who will pay for the maintenance? And this is not that clear because for the nature-based solutions, all the city in Italy mainly manage the green spaces in this way. There is a sector that manages more the lawns and shrubs called the horizontal green part of the green division, the green sector, and who cares about trees? That means the vertical green. Nature-based solutions, after some interview, they were like indicated as diagonal green, liminal space, because everyone would like to have nature-based solutions but don't want to spend money in order to maintain it. The second is to explain citizens and association why we were adding more green spaces to the city instead of using money from the European Commission in order to maintain the green spaces we already have. So, but this is not really compatible with, well, there is the principle of additionality of the European Union, so you cannot use funds. You have to use funds in order to test something new. This was not that easy to explain. And the third is more theoretical. The last one is we are thinking more about the well-being for humans, and only if time and funds allows us, we can focus on the benefits of the other living beings and non-living beings that surround us. So the theoretical shift is the paradigm that probably we should use in order to have a proper nature-based solutions working within cities, is to change the focus from a non-anthropocentric view to an ecocentric view, and so switching from the human to the more than human concept.
Thank you. Really, really interesting. And I will, oh yeah, there is a question. Yes, of course.
Hi, I'm Nikiforos from SFDO from Crete, Greece. And I would like to ask if about the new soil concept, you have public guidelines of how to blend if we want to replicate it in other places and regions.
Of course, there are a lot of documents. If you Google project, you will find the platform, and then you can download a lot of different deliverables. And also there is another municipality nearby Turin that is called Chieri, that is in the southeastern part of Turin, that already replicate the new soil. Of course, the new soil is not that easy to replicate because it depends on the soil you can achieve or take from a dump site.
Thank you. Any other question from the public or online? Yes.
Thank you. I'm Georgia from Kinsoil. I wanted to ask, with the new soil, Mirafiori is an area where they've created a lot of urban gardens, and how do you ensure the safety of the soil, and is there constant checks, considering that it's becoming a bit of a, well, it's definitely a garden space for that a lot of people are relying on for food, and it's becoming a big community space. So yeah, what's the safety checks for the new soil, and are there any challenges with this construction site soil? Does the fungi degrade most of the toxic components?
Yeah, thank you so much. There were a lot of different chemical analyses. Well, it's plenty of associations, especially two of them that are managing what they are dealing with the soil in Mirafiori South District. and they allow people to gardening and to rent some plots in order to garden. So the association do regularly the chemical analysis in order to verify the pollutants content mainly. That is not. This is a really good question because Mirafiori South was really has an industrial past, so it's not that easy to cultivate or to well, it's easy to cultivate, but not to ensure the healthy food. Luckily, we focusing on the urban forest in this case, so we don't have to eat the products, but of course, all the urban gardening activities that surround these nature-based solutions, and especially probably this place, but there is Orti Generali, that is an incredible place where to go and to visit, but yeah, only chemical analysis. There are some rules and some laws that you should follow in order to allow people to cultivate there.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you. Maybe we leave the question from the chat at the end, so we will leave more space to our panelists. And we will now move the shift from the academics point of view to citizen science one. And happy to introduce Cristina Ciconte from ECHO project. She is an ECHO ambassador, but before she's also a naturalist guide. So we will leave the floor to her. She will tell us more about her experience within ECHO project.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everyone. So yes, as Dr. Laurent said before, I was one of the 120 ECHO ambassadors that was chosen. They actually applied almost a year ago for the project, and we were lucky enough to be chosen to implement this wonderful project from the University of Bozen. What is an ECHO ambassador actually? The ambassador is a bridge between the European project and the citizens, so the citizens involved in this project. And this is actually what I do. As Fabiana said before, I'm an outdoor hiking guide, so what I interact with people all the time, because I cooperate with 2 regional parks of Piedmont, the Mount Viso Park and the Maritime Alps Park. And so I'm involved in the science dissemination at all times, especially with school kids. So what I will do with this, what we do, during the last year, we've been trained by the ECHO project on how to use, we were going to use the kits that we received a few weeks ago. So we had a lot of training on how we were going to actually involve these citizens in this project. And we had received them a few weeks ago, as I said. Each ECHO ambassador was asked how many kids he was going to use, was going to need, and with a maximum of 12 kids per ambassador. So I asked for 10 actually, and I started using the kids recently. Actually, last week I had a school, a class, where we did a little activity on soil, and since they were grown enough to understand how important it is to monitor the soil, I had the chance to use the kids. So this is one of the things we do. And since it's interesting to involve regional parks in these processes, because they have, this is allow a wider public to be involved in these activities and events. So this is why we do it with, and with school as well, because it's important to teach school kids about soil literacy and implement with them these activities. So this is what I want to implement this project with the school kids, because from what we normally see. The kids, they don't have much knowledge about the importance of soil, and what they see is not important. No? The soils for them is not an important theme, something to take care of. Actually, they just see, for example, soil worms as very ugly and not interesting creatures, you know. So we try to make them understand that it's something they should really take care of, and so why, which kind of expertise is required from ambassador? So first of all, the importance of involve wider the wider public, and from my side, since I cooperate with 2 regional parks, this is something I have the possibility of doing. And the importance of knowing the areas where monitoring is interesting. So we'll be doing some, for example, BioBlitz events with the parks, so in the area where the parks are located, so most probably up in the mountains, which is something not everyone will be doing. And as I was saying, cooperating with entities, public entities like regional parks, which are involved in nature conservation, allow us to reach a wider public. And last but not least, engaging future generation in protecting soils, I think, is one of the key to assess this important element, which is soil protection. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cristina. That was a really nice perspective from like a person that is a natural guide. So it has a really interesting background, but it put herself, you know, like far from the first profession, and then you know, engage with young education is one of the most important, I think, theme of soil health and soil literacy. I'm asking if there's any question to Cristina from the public and online. Maybe I can ask you, like, how, like, being involved in ECHO project, what give you more, like, to be involved in ECHO project, like at the European level? How much do you feel, you know, empowered from what ECHO project is doing?
Okay, thank you for your question. So yes, it was actually really interesting being involved in this project, for which I thank the University of Bozen for choosing us, and because it gives you a different insight into what a European Union is doing at at higher levels, what is actually happening. Because at the local level, we were already using the tools that Dr. Gacciano was saying before. They were made by the foundation, the Resoil Foundation. So for the people that are actually already into the topic, they know which tools, what is happening at the local level, but sometimes you don't know what is happening at higher levels, as I was saying. So this was interesting for us to have a higher perspective on what is going on at the European level. One thing is I forgot to say that something interesting is of the ECHO project is that once this the public is downloading the app, which was created on purpose for this monitoring, they will have to reply to a questionnaire of 75 questions, and after the monitoring, they will have to redo the question, re-answer to the questions. This is interesting to see if something has changed in the awareness of protecting the soil. So, yeah.
Thank you for specifying this. And while talking about citizen science, I would like to give the floor again to Margherita Caggiano from Resoil Foundation. She will introduce us the this Cascina Felizia, which is an innovative farm, I would say, agricultural environment that does a lot of in terms of citizen science, but I don't want to spoil it more. So please, Margherita, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Fabiana. In this case, I'm only the voice of this experience of this initiative. Roberto Pons, who is the owner of Cascina Felizia, is sitting with us today. I'm just so if you have any questions after the presentation, I will pass that on to Roberto. And as an aside, a comment on this matter, when we talk about soil literacy and about involvement of local stakeholders, also in the context of funded projects, it is important to keep in mind that in many cases we need to develop material and resources in native languages, because when we talk with educators or teachers, often they wouldn't be able to speak in English or to discuss. So it's really important to bear in mind the language and cultural aspects when we work in this type of context. Anyway, let's get to Cascina Felizia. I'm really proud of having Roberto within our network of Lighthouse Farm promoted by Resoil Foundation. We are talking about a family-owned farm next to Turin. It's probably 30 kilometers from Turin. The farm is mainly a poultry livestock farm, and they also have cereals crops in the farm. They are adopting a lot of very innovative practice, sustainable practice, from paulownia cultivation to setting up of solar photovoltaic panel, and a lot of measures to improve animal welfare. So I visited the farm several times, and it's really nice to see how the livestock are checked and all is really measured and defined in the process. So it's really a nice experience to visit as well. The reason why we decided to talk about Roberto's farm, Cascina Felizia, is that based on his own initiative, he started a few years ago, even before connecting to Resoil. This is one of the aspects that we really like when we selected Roberto's farm to be part of the network. Based on its own initiative, he started organizing initiative events for students. He is engaged in collaboration with universities. So Cascina Felizia's doors are open to a lot of young people to learn more about poultry, about agriculture, about sustainability. Over the last 2 years, since we started collaborating with Roberto, we have been part of these initiatives that, again, I'm really keen to reinforce that he's really the mind, and he's really the one who put the most effort into this project. So what I want to show you today is one specific example. For the second year in a row, 1 month ago on 19 May, Cascina Felizia became the floor for a very nice daily educational day for primary and secondary school students. So we had like 300 kids at the farm, and we offer 8 different stands, booths with activities for the children, all based all focused on sustainability and the environment. As Resoil, we brought a stand with laboratories and a bit of didactic part about soils, but we also had the University of Turin talking about, again, all the poultry cycle. We had the Paulownia Association talking about Paulownia. We had Plastic Free talking about how to manage plastic and to avoid plastic litters. We had very interesting a first aid booth and another stand explaining kids about fire, forest fire, how to manage fire. So it was a very broad and mixed floor of different experiences. and the children really enjoyed the day. As I said, we had like more than 300 last year, and this year we had only 300 because we had to move the date because of rain from April to May. So it's really a good example of how a lighthouse farm in the territory should really be the face of the Living Lab in the local community, and should really open the doors to people and to young people to offer learning opportunities, not only to students. It can also be the place to train other farmers, to train local authorities, but it's really, I believe, a good example of what we should include when we develop and build living labs and lighthouse farm. And that's all for me. Yeah, if you want to look at the website, here you have the Cascina Felizia website. On our website, you can find actually all the lighthouse farms which are part of our networks. As I said, they are a bit all over Italy, but you can also find a profile of Cascina Felizia and an interview to Roberto, a video interview which we have done in Rome a couple of months ago when we had our lighthouse farm network meeting. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Margherita. It was indeed a great example on how cooperation, between foundation or different action, again, works so well. Maybe I have a really tiny and maybe technical question, because I'm not sure if everybody knows, like, what is a lighthouse and how it fits, in the bigger framework of SOIL and then the Mission SOIL funding opportunities.
I will try to answer, even though the definition of lighthouse. So we all know a bit, probably we all learned the definition of living labs now. Yes. Lighthouse farm or experimental site, this is where the confusion for me still remain a little bit. So in this case, we are talking of a commercial farm, is not an experimental one, but I believe that living labs should have at least 10 from 10 up to more experimental size / lighthouse farm within the living lab. And they can be, as I said, commercial or experimental. But other than the places where we go to test innovation and best practice and to measure how these best practice respond to the KPIs that we are defining and all the monitoring system, the lighthouse farm, as the word says, is a lighthouse, should be also a demonstrator, a connection with the local community, an open place for people to visit and to engage the stakeholder, and should also be an example that can be replicated by other farmers. So that's my understanding, but if I'm wrong, or if you want to add, Gabriele.
No, I think this was really like on point, and also, I mean, we will have a short session on this topic also later. But it was nice, I think, to connect this with a concrete example. So thank you very much. I don't know if there is any question from the public now. Maybe from home, or we can maybe close with Sergio and then move to the questions online, if you agree. So also because it's really well connected with what we heard until now. Sergio is a researcher at CREA, which is the Agricultural and Environmental Research Center in Italy, and he will again his speech will be focused on the education of young generation. So Sergio, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Fabiana, and good morning, everyone. In these few minutes, I will try to explain the experience we made with the staff of my institute about soil literacy with a young student. As also Margherita said before, almost all people can perceive if a natural resource like water or air do not meet the criteria of quality of healthiness, The same thing, unfortunately, can be said for soil. The soil is a resource that the people do not understand, seems do not appreciate fully. So they do not notice it. I don't know why, because we all every day trample on it. Over the soil, we build infrastructure, but we struggle to understand the role the soil play in our society, in our lives. This is why we, the Institute, we think it's never too early to try to make people understand the importance of soil. Soil, as all we know, is almost non-renewable resource. So why not to start to raise awareness among the new generation, trying to make clear what are the functions the soil has and play in the ecosystem. For this reason, since more or less 10 years, we all, from director, researcher, technicians, every year my institute organized the study days, we can say study days, in the experimental farm we have in Mugello, near Scarperia. This is a renowned agricultural area in north of Tuscany. And so we try to explain with an environmentally sound, but at the same time playful approach to the students of primary and secondary school the importance of soil and the function it performs. This is also true for their teachers. We admit at the end of this morning they are not sufficiently aware, as the rest of the population, I think, about the function the soil plays in the day-by-day life of each of us, and also about the risk the soil it faces nowadays. Now there are a series of photographs where we can see these young guys trying to, for example, appreciate the different tactile sensation of the various size fraction of the soil, the sand respect to the clay, or the nature of the organic matter. We take the surface horizon of the forest soil rich in organic matter. Then in the up photograph, there are a series of soil with different colors. For example, the kids are really surprised. The soil have not all the same colors. Or this picture, we set up a really simple experiment where we can try to observe the different degree of turbidity of the water flowing on a bare soil respect to the water flowing on a grassed soil. So really simple observation, but all the times we notice that this stimulates the fantasy interest of these young boys and girls. Here are the photographs where they search for spiders or worm inside the sample of soils, observing with expression a little bit afraid also, larvae of coleoptera, or looking to caterpillar, or with the lens to observe little spider, acari, or something, microarthropods that are present in this soil. Again, the same, they are listening the exploration of a colleague of mine about the soil structure. So explaining the difference between soil texture and soil structure. Soil structure, the results of the different combination of the different size fraction present in the soil. Or again, observing the different composition of forest litter. So we think that even so, this day may be viewed as well, also banal or not. We think, we believe instead it is really interesting for this child. And they and the teacher responds all the year positively, and at the end of this morning they ask when we can do again another experience similar. They no more than one per year, not also for our problem, but also for the problems related to the organization of this field trip for the school. So what can I say? We hope that after these days in which these kids touch with the hands, something will remain in their memory, in their minds. So when they will be adults, men and women, we hope and that they will call to evaluate, for example, some political choice taken by the administration of the city where they will live. They will be aware of the consequences this choice may have on their life. So, thank you for your attention, and I think soil literacy can also start on a rugby field.
Thank you, Sergio, for reminding us that literacy, soil literacy, but also literacy in general starts from a very early age and young adult that will be, the adult of the future. Okay. With this, we close the panel, and I would really thank you once again, everyone. And we still have 10 minutes left for the questions. I know that there are some questions online, but also, again, from the public. If you just raise your hands, but I don't know if my colleague wants to read the questions online, if they are for everybody or if they are directed to...
Yes, I think this one is for Margherita. It's a question from Belinda, French, from Safe Soil UK. She asked, poultry farms are a source of tremendous pollution for rivers. How is pollution of rivers avoided?
I think this one need to be passed on to Roberto because I'm not the owner of the poultry. Can I ask again the person where she's from?
Safe Soil
Safe Soil.
UK.
Okay. So poultry farmer contributing to pollution of rivers and how this can be
Avoided.
Avoided.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it's really the topic of this event, but I will translate for Roberto and see if he can say something. C'è una domanda dal pubblico che dice, hai capito? Che dice che gli allevamenti di polli hanno un impatto sull'inquinamento dei fiumi. Senti di rispondere a qualcosa? No, non credo.
Gli allevamenti di una volta potevano avere delle problematiche sull'inquinamento delle falde acquifere. Una volta si poteva pensare di avere delle problematiche delle falde acquifere, oggi non è più così. Le polline vengono automaticamente depositate ormai sempre di più e sempre più continuamente ai biodigestori, per cui vengono trasformate da pollina semplice in energia elettrica o in biometano, anzi il futuro sarà più biometano. Questo permette perché la consapevolezza della gestione della pollina è fondamentale sia per la generazione di corrente elettrica, sia per, come si può dire, concimare i terreni una volta che il prodotto è stato, diciamo, lavorato, digerito dal biogas. No? Per cui l'inquinamento rispetto a una volta è sicuramente più basso, c'è più consapevolezza nel rispetto del suolo e nel integrare sempre di più un sistema avicolo tecnico industrializzato verso un'agricoltura coesa e compatta, non più si produce e basta. Ecco. Questa è proprio una necessità di costruzione dell'avicoltura.
I will try to translate. If I miss something, please correct me. So Roberto said that was probably an old practice. So nowadays is no longer like that because they have a lot of different tools to dispose of poultry scraps. The main stream for the recycling is biodigestate and biomethane. It's also another way which is less common at the moment, but it's becoming more and more common. So basically, the scraps, poultry scraps, are getting converted into fertilizer, and they will be converted in electricity more and more as well. So they are no longer impacting water in the free environment, let's say. And then Roberto is keen to add that there is a higher level of awareness about these topics at the moment, so more attention to protect soil and water and adopt practices that respect these resources. Have I forgotten? No.
No, I think it was really comprehensive question, but a specific from home, because this is like a huge problem in UK. But she didn't understand if the soil is being fed by this of poultry farms. I don't know.
Soils.
Yes, if it's directly fed by poultry manure.
Poultry manure, yeah, that's correct. The poultry manure, I didn't know the word. So if the poultry manure is used to fertilize
and feed the soil.
Okay. Questa è inglese, tra l'altro, quella che sta scrivendo. Chiede se la pollina viene usata per fertilizzare il suolo.
No, una volta che è stata trattata dai gestori viene utilizzata per la concimazione dei terreni e trasformare i terreni che fanno grano, mais, roba del genere, perché il tasso di azoto viene ridotto proprio dal biogestore che ci permette di, giustamente, poi ci sono dei tecnologi che sono più bravi di me, di garantire la giusta emissione di azoto per percentuale di terreno. Questo è proprio il processo più naturale che c'è in questo momento.
Okay, so Roberto added that after treatment, the poultry manure, it is used to fertilize soil, but only after it's been treated by the biodigester, so the nitrogen level diminution. And so after treatment, and it's, I guess, all the, this type of fertilizer will be checked, saranno controllati. They will be checked in terms of suitability to be used as organic fertilizer. And so, as Igor from IPLA added, is also a good way to replace chemical fertilizer. So there's already, yes, they are used after treatment and after they are controlled.
Thank you very much. And we invite anyway the audience to reach out to our panelists in order to deep the discourse. And yeah, any other question from home?
I think it's a general question for everyone, which is how do you contact young people and who are your target groups?
So how do you get in touch with the younger community, and yeah, if you have any other target group?
For us, we are taking part at the Unite project that yearly, it takes place in Torino, but also across Europe. And the public is young people, but also whoever comes to the square, usually is by night in September. So we engage with whoever comes. I don't know.
In our case, it's obvious we contact young people through teachers and through the school.
Maybe Christina or...
Yes, in our case studies, when we involve associations and citizens in order to also have like a young generation or just a younger group, the first thing that we did is the stakeholder mapping in order to see which are the main stakeholders that insist within our case studies. So we discussed them with the public administration and with the people living there in order to try to involve as much as young people, but women and other different groups of stakeholders to involve them within the process. So we did the first stakeholder mapping and then the snowball method. That means asking people, do we need to involve someone else who you are suggesting us to involve? How can we reach them? This is the process we use.
Same for us as environmental education is mandatory in Italy. There is some hours that they have to do, and that's where the outdoor hiking guide come into field. So they teach this different thematic. It can be water, can be soil, can be anything. And one thing I would like to add to what we were saying, I would like to stress the importance of the playful approach, because only if they have fun, they will really deepen their knowledge. So this is also our approach.
Thank you, Cristina. Thank you, everyone. I believe with this we can close this session. Once again, a round of applause for our panelists. We have a coffee break now, so I invite you people in person to join coffee outside, and people online to stay connected. We'll start again in 15 minutes and shifting the topics to the funding opportunities. So see you in a while.
The remote.
Okay, we are resuming the event. Thanks a lot for keeping the level of attention quite high, especially from remote. I hope that you had the chance to stretch your legs and grab a cup of coffee or a fresh beverage. So we are going to start the second part of this event, and it's me again with Alessio. So we are going to delving into the details of the funding opportunities for the establishment of Mission Soil Living Lab now. But the most important thing that I would like to stress at the outset is the threefold objective of this event. So we have already provided some inspiring examples of soil literacy. Now we are going to connect them with the funding opportunities. And the third part of the event will be dedicated to you, to your speech and pitch of your organization. So we are going to have 13 pitches at the end of this contribution. 5 of them will be given by in-person participants, while the others from online. So I would like to start this part from a very clear slide. So within the 2025 call topics, there are 2 which are of a special interest for us at least. And those are the 2 funding the establishment of soil health living labs and lighthouses. So one of them is dedicated to the redevelopment of and remediation solutions for brownfields. The other one is has a geographical focus, as you can see, is focusing on continental, boreal, and alpine biogeographical regions. So one of them is a vertical topic, the other one is a cross-cutting, meaning that for the second one, the 2-stage one in the green card, you will have a different proposal preparation process, but also a totally different focus, because the Commission expects you to prepare bottom-up proposals without any specific prescription in regard of the theme of the topic. Conversely, the first topic, the one that you see on the brown card, is targeting regeneration of brownfield sites. So it is targeting a specific land use type, especially urban and peri-urban areas, post-industrial land use type. They also differ in the type of budget they provide, the type of contribution from the EU, and also the number of grants that will be provided to the successful consortia. So the living labs for soil remediation and brownfield redevelopment will provide grants for just one successful project. The indicative budget is 12 million. And since this is a full stage proposal preparation process, you have just a deadline, as you can see, the 30th of September. While for the second one, the proposal preparation process is different, and you will see 2 different deadlines. The first one is on the 4th of September, when you are expected to submit a shorter version of the proposal, and those who will be selected will go on to the second stage, and they will have to submit a full stage proposal by the 18th of February 2026. So these 2 topics call for very competitive proposals. And now we are going to delve into the details of both of them. So as you might see from these slides, the first call is quite devoted to a specific land use type. And despite the prescriptions of the call text might be quite similar between the two, the type of the expectations, the expected outcomes are different. For both types of funding topics, you have to, if you prepare a proposal, you should at least have from 4 to 5 living labs, and each living lab should include from 10 to 20 experimentation sites. So this could be quite challenging for a consortium to put together these types of expertise, considering that both of them requires a multi-actor approach. So this means that the consortium, the coordinator, has to put together a consortium which is made up of different types of actors, so land managers, researchers, SMEs, citizens, organizations, consumers organizations. This is not easy to do, so we would invite you to start working on it from the beginning. These two topics were published in mid-May, so you are still in time to work on this. You might find in the official description of the call text the definition of brownfields. And I would invite you all to read the official topic text really carefully, because it's quite long and it's really prescriptive. The second topic revolves around the need to have additional soil health living labs in specific biogeographical regions, this time in the continental, boreal, and alpine region. It's not the case that we have organized this event here in Turin, because one of our intentions was to cover at least partially the alpine region, at least symbolically. You will find the map of the biogeographical regions on the website of the European Environmental Agency, but we are going to share with you all the registrants, the slide deck, and you will have the link in these slides. One of the specificities of this topic is that the majority of the living labs should be included in one of these 3 specific biogeographical regions. This topic is going to fund 3 different projects, and the Commission is going to give priority to the projects which cover all these geographical areas. So there will be 3 projects, each of them will cover 1 biogeographical region. So if the majority of the living labs should be included in one specific biogeographical region, the other ones can be involved in other ones. Of course, proposals with living labs located in brownfields areas are excluded because there is a specific topic on this. So, before going ahead and providing you some information on what SOILL-Startup can do for the applicants, I would like to give you some elements which revolve around the concept of soil health living labs, like houses, which is a concept which was brought up a few minutes ago, and living lab experimentation sites. So the living labs operate at regional or sub-regional level, and they work as innovation ecosystems. So the Living Lab is a set of collaborations among different categories of actors. And within the Living Lab, there is a series of experimentation sites where the solutions that are developed within the Living Labs are tested, demonstrated, replicated, upscaled. The Lighthouse is a site which proved to be quite performative in terms of demonstrating success stories, successful examples, best practices. And it can be part of the Living Lab, but also outside the ecosystem of the Living Lab. The difference between the experimentation site and the Lighthouse is the performance. So the experimentation site is a place where new solutions are tested. The Lighthouse is a place where solutions are demonstrated and where you can raise the awareness of people, as we mentioned earlier during the contributions on soil literacy. Some elements of the lighthouses can be found in already existing places which might meet the criteria for being a lighthouse, such as Cascina Felizia, for example. So the Living Lab, as I mentioned, has this structure. So multiple partners working within the same ecosystem and testing solutions on specific experimentation site within a specific region or sub-region. The lighthouses can live within or without the Living Lab. The land use types that the European Commission and the Mission Soil wants you to address are the following: agriculture, industrial, urban, forestry, natural and semi-natural. You will find more information on this on the website of Soil Startup and also on the official funding portal, where you find the text of the funding topics. And before turning over to my colleague, Alessio, I would like to give you a hint of an overview of the current network of Mission Soil Living Lab, which is made up of the first wave and second wave. What does this mean? So the first wave represents the Living Labs, which have been established within the topics, the projects which have been funded in 2023, like Living Soil. Today we had with us Sara Negri, which was part of the Living Soil project. And along with Living Soil, other projects have been funded in 2023, Go for All, Soil Crates, ECHO Shells, and Lilas for Soil. The second wave is, I would say, in course of definition, because the projects that have been successful are preparing their grant agreement. So we don't really know the details about the projects, but we can show you already where the Living Labs are located. And from the view of this map, I believe that you can infer why the European Commission has published a topic which is focusing on specific biogeographical regions, especially in the north of Europe and in the continental part of Europe. So having said that, I would turn over to my colleague Alessio, who will give you an overview of what Soil Startup can offer to potential applicants, which type of services and tools you can use and harness, and which we are rolling out over these days, basically, with several news which have been already published in the latest weeks. So over to you, Alessio. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriele, and good morning again. So I will present to you what Soil Startup can do. So we can help you in how to set up a soil health living labs, and we can also facilitate the consortia creation, and also we are here for advice and support. And we can do this in different ways. So for example, with engagement event, with the guidelines, matchmaking opportunities, pitching moments, with mentoring, training, and with our help desk. In more detail, we can offer guidance and support during your whole process with tailored guidance to help you to navigate the funding process and for submit a really strong proposal. We can also offer the possibility to meet national mentors that are available now that can help you in your local language and can follow you all during the all process stages. And also we can give to you up-to-date information on the Living Lab concept, funding criteria, and the implementation strategies. Like I said before, we can offer a matchmaking platform to connect with potential partner and develop proposal, with a tool to schedule meetings, enjoy cross-regional and also transnational clusters and post-partnership needs. There is also an help desk that I invite you to, if you have any question, that can give to you a clear answer about mission soil, living lab concept, and so on, that you can reach through the Soil Hub that you can reach from the Soil Startup webpage. And last but not least, there are several types of practical resources and training materials, for example, guidelines and recommendations to strengthen your proposal, template, example, and best practices from the existing soil health living lab and lighthouses, and fact sheets summarizing key funding opportunities and also in accordance with the land use type. And also, we offer a lot of webinars that offer in-depth insight and guidance on the various aspects of soil health and funding. And I want to invite all of you to the next webinar that will be in the month of June. The first will be in the 18th of June, and it's about in general, and the name, sorry, is a Soil Deal for Europe mission, and is interesting because it can give the opportunity to meet the representative from DG Agri and also from soil expert. The second will be the 23rd of June, and give information regarding to how to send a proposal aligned with the objective of the mission soil and in accordance with the soil monitoring law. And the last will be the 30th of June, that is about the living lab concept and how to create a consortia. And so with this, I really say good luck to all the applicants, and I give the floor to Gabriele again, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Alessio. Thanks a lot. I believe that especially this last slide Alessio showed is really important, because this webinar series has been specifically designed for applicants preparing a proposal under this call. So I would like to invite you to sign up for all the 3 webinars. So on the 18th, the 23rd, and the 30th of June. The next couple of slides revolve around the offer Soil Startup provides to soil health living labs. As you can see from this overview, and I promise you it won't take long, because I know that you are willing to pitch your organization as soon as possible. We are going to support the living labs by providing them with training and capacity building programs, knowledge sharing and networking opportunities. We are going to support them in monitoring and evaluating their process, and in the engagement and promotion activities such as mutual visits. And also, as Alessio mentioned, through the Soil Hub, and now I will tell you how. So, as I mentioned, the coordination and support activities that we are going to provide basically revolve around the need for soil living labs in the network to connect with each other and exchange information. So we are going to provide them with a database of information and contact details, which you can use for ensuring a communication workflow between the living lab and a facilitated exchange of information. The other type of support that we provide is engagement and promotion. We have worked on a catalog of the currently funded living lab, which you can find by scanning this QR code, and in any case on our website. It currently includes only the living labs that have been funded under the 2023 call for proposals, but it will be updated really soon. Another type of activity is the organization of events where the experiences and the success stories within the soil health living labs are highlighted and put under the spotlight. This is a picture coming from the European Mission Soil Week, where the first wave of living labs was awarded. Then, as I mentioned, the training and capacity building. So we develop online group training and in-person bootcamp for the living labs. And at the same time, you will find, as Alessio mentioned, an help desk on the Soil Hub, which work both for the applicants and the already established living labs. And on the hub, you will find also the Knowledge Hub, which is basically a repository of good practices and other informative material. Then concerning the knowledge sharing and networking, you will find on the Soil Hub again a map of common areas where the Mission Soil Living Lab work. We organize site visits within the experimentation sites in the living labs. We organize matchmaking activities which involve the soil health living labs, and also working groups which are going to be deployed quite soon. Then referring the monitoring and the evaluation, just to say that once you have set up the living lab, this doesn't mean that the living lab is completed and you have done your job. We are going to support you over the process to set up not just the living lab, but also the daily activities of the living labs, and we provide recommendations for that, including tools and guidelines to improve the workflow. As I mentioned, as Alessio mentioned, we have recently launched on the 5th of June over the World Environment Day, the Soil Hub, which you will find, it's accessible through our website, but you can also find it at the soil2030.app domain. It offers a series of opportunities to the living labs because over there we are going to spotlight the living labs. You will find them over Living Lab Atlas, where all the living labs funded are listed, including the profile pages of the living labs. It includes the Living Lab Help Desk, the catalog of resources, and the calendar and event. So, in a nutshell, SOIL can offer a wide variety of services to different types of stakeholders, from the application to the actual setup of the living lab, and eventually the collection of results and success stories to put under the spotlight the best practices and help the living labs replicate the good practices that they develop. I would like to invite you to navigate through the Soil Hub and explore all the services that we provide, especially since this event is targeting the applicants, the help desk, because there is a a team of experts within the SOIL Startup project, which is entirely devoted to answer all your questions revolving around the funding topics. And if you want to be part of our community, you can scan this QR code and fill the stakeholder mapping form. This will help us identify the stakeholders around the project and provide you with more insights on the activities of both the projects establishing the living labs and the living labs themselves. Okay. Now it's your turn to be under the spotlight. We have collected the presentation from 13 pitchers. I would like to call over here those of you who are with us today in person, starting from Giorgia Desideri. You can come here, yeah. Welcome. And I would like to invite Nikiforos Steyakakis, sorry for the pronunciation, to warm up, as you will be the following one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Wait, I'm just gonna, that way. Oh, perfect. Hello, everybody. It's an honor to be here. My name is Georgia, and I'm here representing KinSoil. We're a startup actually, can I just start? Sorry, I wanted to get a photo of it. Can you take a photo for it? Thank you. All my team's in Berlin, so there we go. Yes, we're a startup based in Berlin, focusing on harnessing the power of satellite technology and AI to enable decarbonization across our agri-food supply chains. It's a lot, but I'll get into it briefly. So you might already know that 30% of our global emissions come from the agri-food sector. And out of these, 20% are Scope 3 emissions. So Scope 3 emissions are those that lie in the upstream or downstream supply chains of a company, and therefore are the hardest to monitor, and also, in many cases, go unmanaged. So around 70% of these Scope 3 emissions go unmanaged, which is a big threat to our transparency and for our ability to reach our European goals of decarbonization in the next decades. So what we focus on is harnessing the power of soil as our carbon sink, and we do this through a methodology known as carbon farming. So trying to create methodologies to be able to measure the soil-based carbon sequestration. However, the current methodology of this is quite difficult. It uses a sample and analysis approach, which means that it's time-consuming, it's inefficient, time-wise, money-wise, and also means that only a small amount of land can be measured at a time. So it's not really good for large-scale projects or for large farms, for example. So what you see here is what you would see if you were our KinSoil client. Above is the plot of land that you'd be measuring. You can also put several plots of land from around the world. And from an initial sample, and then utilizing the satellite imagery and our models, which we align with the European Space Agency, one of our partners, you can then sort of have this dashboard which shows you over time the changes in certain elements of your soil. So it can include the organic carbon, which is the healthy or good carbon, soil with more carbon than, which could align with sort of the EU's new strategies for soil bioremediation, for example. You can see the soil composition and the soil compaction and nitrogen levels. So these are our initial sort of elements that we have, including soil cover analysis. So how many bare days of soil you have in the year, which is really important because many of our current regulatory structures, such as the CRCF or the EU New Soil Monitoring Law, is focusing on using bare soil days as a very key indicator of eroded soils. So if you're a company that wants to sort of harness their Scope 3 emissions in their supply chains, become transparent, and be forward-thinking into what we'll need to do to align with the EU's new regulations in the upcoming years, then yeah, you can contact us. That's my LinkedIn. You can also request a demo on our website, or just ask any questions. Feel free. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Nikiforos?
Hello, everybody. So I'm Nikiforos Theakakis. I represent an organization that is called Sustainable Food Destination Org. It's based in Crete. And what we are trying to do the last 4 years that we are active is to leverage the hospitality, the tourism sector, for the transition to regenerative practices in agriculture in our country and cooperate across Europe to succeed it holistically in Europe altogether. We believe that we must and we have to use the tourism sector because until we have a systemic change in the landscape, the economic and financial landscape, most of the people that they want to invest in sustainability or regeneration and soil health are just writing down on the balance sheets extra costs. But tourism sector is one of the few that can have in short term return on investment. And we can build with the help of them win-win collaborations. So that is what we do across Greece and Crete. We connect local communities, farmers, food production units, and hotel groups. And we built a short supply chain there. Food is produced regeneratively. We educate, we train, we give advisory to the farmers, and we escort them in their journey. And we create successful cases, lighthouse examples across the local communities that we engage with them. This is mainly what we do. The concept is what I just presented. We are interested in participating in projects, in horizon calls or other kind of projects across Europe. We already have cooperation with islands like Ibiza and Mallorca to form a constellation of islands that can do and lead the change and the transition, because islands have some special, they are a special case. It's not France or Poland when we talk about Santorini or Mallorca. So I don't want to use any more time from the other pictures, and here you can connect with us, with me in LinkedIn, and with our organization. We would be happy to. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So the next one is Massimo Pugliese, which will be followed by Costanza Torchia.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for this opportunity to present our group. I'm Massimo Pugliese from University of Torino. I'm based in the university campus in Grugliasco, and I'm here representing in particular Agrinova, which is a research center of the University of Torino that started in 2002 and became recently an interdepartmental center with different expertise, and the center is mainly involved in applied research as well as in technology transfer, as well as in communication, training, dissemination activities. We have different laboratories and different facilities equipped for several type of analysis, and in particular we are also have greenhouse facilities and open fields and also chambers where we study the impact of climate changes on plants. Why we are interested in the soil issue? Because in particular my group, we are dealing since several years, and we can provide this type of expertise related in particular to focusing the attention on the soil as a way to maintain healthy plants. In particular, we work on biomass energy systems that are working the conversion of different biomasses and wastes into novel fertilizers that can help to not only improve soil health, but most importantly also to convert the soil into what we call suppressive soil. More healthy soil are able, of course, to lead to more healthy plants. And for doing this, we also work quite a lot with molecular methods, like in the picture below, in order to understand which are microbial communities that are involved in such changes and how we can not only identify some trends in the soil, but also better understand how a healthy soil can be defined according to this capacity to improve the health in the plants. And we are exploring these concepts within several projects. In particular, as you can see on the right, different projects in which we are partnering at the European level, in which we are specifically working this point of view, as well as we are working also in the planning of so-called prebiotics or probiotics that can be applied in the soil and can help to maintain soil healthier and to contribute to soil biodiversity and plant health as well. So, thanks for your attention, and this is my email, and contact me anytime for any questions or for other info. Thank you.
Costanza, over to you. And then Joel Mastelik. I hope the pronunciation is correct.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Costanza Torchia, and I'm from the University of Turin as well. And today I'm representing the Mycotheca Universitatis Taurinensis, or MUT, as we call it. The MUT is the fungal collection of the University of Turin and is the most important and the biggest fungal biodiversity collection in Italy. Our main goals are the biodiversity discovery and conservation, fungal biodiversity. And these are our main activity. We start with the acquisition and isolation of new fungal strains from different environments. Then we proceed with their identification and characterization. And we put all our efforts on preserving these new strains and also, most importantly, on distributing them and exploit them ourselves. And since 2006, we have this certification from ISO, so we work with the quality standards since then. This slide, it's about our expertise, and I would like to say that we are experts, but the actual experts are the fungi. They are incredibly interesting microorganisms that can live in very harsh environments and degrade toxic pollutants. So we have been working with them on bioremediation of contaminated soil and water. So we have been working with different environments. And we do work with different emerging pollutants, such as heavy metals, but also antibiotics, plastics, anything toxic you can think of. Basically, fungi love to eat them. So we did apply different techniques. We use different techniques. We use both a whole cell system, so the integrous fungus, or just the enzymes sometimes. So we are here because we are always looking for new challenges and new fungi, of course. So if you're also interested about the potential of fungi, please feel free to reach out to me or to my professors. This is us, is our group, and these are our contacts. This is our website. I didn't mention that now the MUT is officially part of the TUC, which is also an interdepartmental center as Agrinova, and so we do work with fungi, but there's also other groups that work with other microorganisms. So yeah, feel free to just talk to me during lunch, and thanks for the attention and the opportunity.
Thanks a lot. So before moving to the last in-person pitch, I would like to turn over to my colleague Nicole, who is working behind the scene. Thanks a lot, Nicole. Because I was wondering if there is any question from remote. Okay, no? Okay. I was wondering if you had the chance to drop the feedback survey on the chat. So you all the registrants will receive a link to the feedback survey for this event. I would like to invite you to fill this in, because it's really important for us to understand how we can improve the format of the events, the upcoming events, of course, and also the other brokerage activities that we are going to organize online and offline. Thank you for your patience, Joel.
Thanks. So my name is Joël Mastelik. I'm professor in the University of Applied Science, Western Switzerland, and I'm also the manager of the Energy Living Lab, which is an association for the dissemination of research in energy. But we are not talking about energy today, we are talking about soil, and I found in love with plants, medicinal plants, and we would like to develop a living lab in the Swiss Alps, like 3 hours from here, in Valais region, on medicinal plants. And I am in lots of European projects with my school, but it's not another European project that we would like to do. We really would like to begin from the field and to understand the needs. And I am an apprentice in herboristery, and I heard from different professors that there is really a problem with medicinal plants in terms of the quality of the soil because of agricultural practices. And as I am also in the council of a research laboratory on medicinal plants that is partnering with the state in my region and with the School of Agriculture, I wanted to understand why there is still the case that these practices haven't changed. So we would like to work and launch a new living lab in Valais and join a consortia to work on literacy, but not literacy for children, literacy for farmers, to be able to train in terms of soil health, soil quality, but also in terms of new business models. Because why are these farmers doing this? There are reasons behind this. They need to develop their own revenues, and we would like to work with them to understand how we can change the models they are based in so that we can also change the practices. So really working bottom up to understand the different stakeholders. And we are, with my lab, responsible for the task force energy and environment. So we are really specialized in co-creation methods. We have a lot of capacity building programs and so on. But really there, it is to develop a new lab on medicinal plants and on biodiversity, on how to preserve the soil to develop medicinal plants and products based from this. I have colleagues in a research lab that is called Mediplan, and another colleague that is working in the field, as presented this morning, doing nature education, vocational education on medicinal plants. And we are looking for experts in soils. We have some in Switzerland, but I think that it could be really interesting to link up with other countries, and also literacy for agriculture, because we don't know much about how to integrate the farmers into the process. So if you have already run European projects that you don't want to do any new research, but really you are motivated into bottom-up approaches for this type of projects, for the Alpine consortia, I would like to discuss with you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So this was the last pitch by an in-person participant. So I would like you to ask Gilberto Bragato, who is connected from remote, to unmute himself and go ahead with the presentation.
Okay. Do you heard me?
Yes,
Okay,
we can hear
that's
you
right.
loud
I'm
and
trying
clear.
to open just my.
We are going to project your slides, Gilberto. So
Yeah. Okay. But I can see them from the video. So just this presentation, just to say that I'm working for many years in the non-food forestry productions, agriculture, soil agriculture, and non-food forestry productions, soils for these kind of productions. And I'd like to present one of the activities I'm carrying on. I carried out in the last, I think, 20 years, more or less. And with the challenge for me is a challenge that was forgotten, but I think by the European Union in the last 20 years at least. So how to maintain moisture the soil, and in the specific case, how to manage the purged water in the hilly environments that are very common in central Italy in particular, and in many parts of the Central Europe. Because, well, the purged water are very important, I think, for the future. My idea is to work at the micro-catchment scale, because at that scale you can manage soil surfaces in a proper way, and you can also preserve water in the soil in particular for the summer season, that is very important for some productions, in particular for quality productions in agroforestry. Main activities. So the soil management of surface water to capture the soil water and retain it in the soil for a longer time, longer than usual. And my idea is also to, and if you do this management, you need to monitor its results by means of hydrological parameters like tension and instrumentations like tensiometers, ferritimeters, and so on. And the most interesting thing for me is that I'm working with a commercial farm that is involved in wine production and truffle production, where truffle production is the way to commercialize wine in particular. In this picture I'm showing you the characteristics of the environment that is very, very nice, at least for Italians living there. And the commercial farm is a very important farm for truffle production in Italy. And it is connected, and the other thing that is very, very useful, I think, for lighthouse farms is connected to a national-based agriculture organization. So the CIA, the organization, one of the organizations of farms in Italy. Well, what I can, me and in general, the Korea can offer. Sampling designs and geostatistics for detailed soil survey. I have long-lasting experience in that, and in particular in soil survey and monitoring. So expertise in soil hydrology, me and in this case, Sergio Pellegrini, we are colleagues and friends, I think. And this is a thing that could be useful. So in soil hydrology, so measurements, instrumentations in the field, in the laboratory, and so on. A further expertise is in biochemical indicators of soil processes and soil earth. They work, and I think they could be useful for you and in general for these kinds of activities. Thank you very much. This is my contact, and good luck for the future. Bye.
Thank you, Gilberto. Thanks a lot. So the next one in line is Karin Pierhofer. Karin, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance to present here our work at the Global Field of Berlin, which is an education organization on organic, on global agriculture and the global food system. And the title of my short presentation is Dispersing, can you just go back, please? Dispersing soil health for human health to citizens. Yes, and the objective of our work is to increase awareness of the state and the protection of the soil, especially of soil biodiversity, and to raise awareness of the importance of soil biodiversity for human health. And our challenges are, in the work we do, is to make dirty soil, and it's often invisible inhabitants, interesting and visible and important to citizens. And our main activities at our organization is to develop and carry out workshops on soil health for human health, for school classes, for young people and adults, and to organize and join events to disperse soil health for human health to citizens, and as well to carry out and develop workshops on soil biodiversity and art. And next slide, please. Our expertise and the resources that we offer are, first of all, we develop the expertise. We can develop education material, especially for soil and soil biodiversity. And we have projects where we connect art and science for improving soil literacy in citizens. For example, here in the picture you see a mobile soil research lab, a tent that can be moved from one event to another, and really inside you can experience with more or less all senses soil and soil biodiversity. It's very successful. The resources we have at our organization are, we have two 2,000 square meter plots in the north and southeast of Berlin for agricultural education, for planting, for using the soil, for experimentation, for demonstrating. We have contacts to schools. We have contacts to the public, to citizens, and we have a network of global fields in Europe as well as worldwide. For now, we are 30 global fields, 30 education organizations where people do education on global agriculture and global food system, including soil. And we are a network. So please contact me. We're interested in taking part of an EU project, and we would take, as you can imagine, the communication role in one of those projects. Yes, thank you very much for listening, and I'm looking forward to hear for some of you, for one of you.
Thanks a lot, Karin. It was a very interesting pitch. I would like to comment on it because it's the second time we mention work of art in today's event. One of the requests, prescriptions in the funding topics is to establish collaborations not just with scientists and land managers, but also to social scientists and involve artists in not just in the Living Lab, but in the projects you would like to set up. So please take this speech into account. Thank you again, Karin. So the next speaker is Yuri Dimitruk. I hope that I pronounce it correctly. Dimitri, Yuri, sorry, are you with us?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Unfortunately, due to areas, I can only use mobile connection. And can you share my present? Yes.
Yes, we are projecting the presentation.
Yes, thank you. My name is Yuri Dimitruk. I am soil scientist and I am a professor of Podilya State University. and represent Ukrainian NGOs working as an intersection of soil science and education. Our topic from students to communities, digital soil literacy for long-term soil health. We see this project empowering communities for healthy soil and opportunity to turn today's students into tomorrow's soil stewards and to bridge knowledge with practice in real communities. Our primary aim is to enhance soil literacy among young people and local communities. We aim to equip future agronomists and farmers and community leaders knowledge with digital tools for assessing and monitoring soil health. In many rural and urban areas, communities still lack access to basic soil diagnostic and do not fully understand the consequences of soil degradation. This is especially critical in the context of land degradation, climate change, and in Ukraine, post-war recovery. So far, we have piloted educational activities with university students, teaching them how to identify soil types using mobile apps and assess soil degradation. Our next step is to scale this approach to community level, using students as facilitators of local soil awareness workshops, soil literacy campaigns for communities, and on-farm diagnostic. Next slide, please. We offer 5 locations in different climate zones. There is geographical continental geographical region from wet forest steppe to dry steppe of Ukraine, with ongoing research on the impact of perennial crops on soil health, on carbon sequestration, and other soil threats. Soil database for modeling and practical classes on field diagnostic and soil health assessment. Access to training facilities, local soil database, and academic resources to support our outreach efforts. To build a broader impact, we are looking for partners with experience in a ready-made GAS platform for expanding the soil condition database and development of scalable digital tools for non-experts. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Yuri. Thanks for joining us. So the next speaker is Giovanna Del Tregia Martinelli. I hope she's connected.
I'm connected. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, perfect.
Over to you.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for letting me share our activities with you today. Representing the University U of Venice. So from gray zones to living soils. We as a university have technical expertise in studying diverse types of issues. And especially at UOV, at the Climate Change Lab, we have been studying the soil. And me, especially from a Latin American context, I have lived with and seen many difficulties within social, political challenges regarding the soil that have a specific and really important role in managing biodiversity and food security and insecurity, and especially in rural urban areas. So the gray zones that I talk about are these areas that are in the peripheral outskirts of densely congregated urban areas that serve as a huge role for diverse challenges that soil face. So we wanted to address this issue, considering the whole traditional and technical knowledge, the traditional knowledge that come from indigenous population and from these zones, and integrating with the technical knowledge that have been useful to develop solutions in the climate change scenario that we're facing. So regarding this, we thought of developing collaborative workshops with the traditional population regarding especially local farming, local farmers that are responsible for 70% of the provision of local food, like internal food for the population. And we wanted to map these grassroots innovations and connect with them, so we can test in living labs transcalar solar planning policies, and then to be able to apply and replicate these in different practices. So we're looking forward, especially through the mission number 2 of the living labs in the African Latin American region. We, as a university, offer expertise in climate-proof and landscape territorial planning, especially. This is already in the next slide. And we have especially specific developed policies in agricultural and agri-rural policies, and also in the water, food, energy ecosystem nexus. We have advanced skills in GIS and new technologies development, and we also have a strong focus on public engagement, inclusion and active citizenship. We have experienced the development of different living labs already. We have already participated in more than 50 projects, this specific lab of ours, and we have more than 53 organizations that constantly connect with us. So we have a broad access to a broad high level of network that can be interesting. And we already have some contacts in Brazil to start these projects. We're really looking forward to applying. So thank you very much. You can get in contact with me and my head supervisors, Elena and Julia. And thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Giovanna. Thank you. So the next picture is Alina Butu. Alina, did you join us? Probably not. If not, we move to the next one. And in case we resume this pitch at the end. So the next one is Sonia Rodriguez. Are you with us, Sonia?
Yes. Hello, good morning, everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to present to you the Curious Soil project, which is an Horizon Europe project on awakening soil curiosity to catalyze soil literacy. So we are focusing on improving soil literacy in Europe as one of the objectives of the soil mission. And if we can, yes, so the objectives of Curious Soil, our overall objective is to understand how to trigger soil curiosity, because we consider that by triggering soil curiosity and creating connections between people and soil, we can then catalyze soil literacy. We are developing a set of tools focusing mostly on education, but also non-formal education. We will present and develop. We are already working on a set of multisensorial soil experiences and tools that we are bringing together in what we call a soil curiosity kit. And we are also creating, like I said, educational materials, course materials, and we are focusing on training teachers on helping them on how to teach soils. So we started in February 2024. We will continue until January 2028. And next slide, please. So what are we doing that can be useful to you, and but at the same time that we are also inviting you to contribute to? So we are at the moment running an assessment of soil literacy in EU member states. This will be run through schools, but also through the public in general. So you will receive invitations to participate in a survey in which we will use to characterize the current baseline of soil literacy in Europe. Like I said, we are developing materials, educational materials, but also several tools in the Soil Curiosity Kit that can be used, and I invite everybody to visit our website. Some of these tools start to be available through our websites and through different channels that we will publicize. that these materials will be available for whoever wants to use them, with the goal of improving soil literacy, reaching out to children, to teachers, but also to public in general. We are also running 4 soil communication campaigns. We already initiated one, which is called Why I Teach Soil. Obviously, this is targeting teachers, but like I said, we are also targeting different groups. We will produce recommendations to public authorities on how to better integrate soil literacy in educational programs. And what I think it's very interesting to you are our communities of practice. So we are identifying soil initiatives that are running all around Europe. We currently have communities of practice in 17 European countries, including Ukraine. So I invite Yuri from Ukraine to join our community of practice. This is a forum of discussion, but all these communities of practice will also have the chance to pilot the materials that we are developing in the different languages. So all of these materials will be translated into the languages of all these communities of practice. And so, last slide, please. You have our contacts here. I invite you to visit our website, curioussoil.eu, also to check what we are doing in LinkedIn. And I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. As I said, we are developing plenty of tools, and we want to make these tools available as much as possible to everybody in different languages, so this can indeed be used to improve soil literacy in Europe. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks, Sonia. Really appreciate it. So Yuri, it's up to you now. You have to send a message to Sonia now. Okay, thanks. Now the next picture is Przemek Adolf. Are you with us?
I am. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm
Over to you, Przemek.
Thank you. So I'm Przemek Adolf from Korów Wood Bioregional Center and Eco-Soil Ambassador in Poland, actually. And today I'm going to be sharing our concept for bioregional living labs developed in response to the mission soil call listed here, and further building on the participatory grassroots engagement of living labs such as Living Soil and Soilcrities. Oh, great, you have the animations too. So the diagram on the right captures a fundamental shift we're making from sustainability, which often seeks to maintain current systems, to regeneration, which aims to restore and enliven the systems we depend on. The approach is really grounded in bioregional thinking, which is a way of working that honors the ecological, cultural, and relational intelligence of each landscape. We believe that regenerating soil health requires more than technical intervention. It calls for a paradigm shift towards applied relational science that's rooted in people and land, where, as we have heard today, is based on participation in developing soil and ecosystem literacy. Could you click to the next animation? As the quote here from Fitzpatrick reminds us, a bioregional lens goes beyond the geographic hard lines of place, such as rivers and mountains, and includes soft lines such as culture, economic realities, ecosystem attributes, and local knowledge. Could you click to the next? To bring this into practice, our model rests on 2 core interdependent structures. The first is the Bioregional Living Lab, which is the applied research and innovation platform. It's where we co-develop soil health solutions with farmers, researchers, and local actors. And the second, the Bioregional Center, anchors the lab in place. It's a physical site or network that holds the long-term relationships, participatory governance, and community capacity needed to make the lab's innovations last. Together, these elements aim to move us from projects to systems change, from short-term outputs to long-term regeneration long after the Horizon funding is gone, measured in decades. Now, our consortium is forming around a powerful shared logic, which is watersheds, which are the most coherent scale for restoring soil health and aligning human activity with ecological process. We plan to establish 5 bioregional living labs focused on continental, with a secondary focus on boreal or alpine. Current examples include the Oder River headwaters in Poland, which is a response to the ecological disaster in 2022 related to nutrient loading. and a variety of other terrible things that created this disaster. And another one would be the tributary river of the Elbe in Western Czechia, related to decommissioned mining pollution and economic development of that area. Could you go to the next, please? We've received over 60 expressions of interest and 30 project idea forms from a wide array of partners. Actually, as of today, we have 45 PIFs. Many of them are experts in soil health and co-creative solutions. The coordinator is Innova Plus from Portugal, which brings a great deal of expertise from having coordinated 30 projects and a 30% success rate. Note the due date is today for these, although we are providing extensions if you would like to be involved. So please email me. You can take a look at the next page. It might require a couple of clicks. So we're actively inviting new partners to share us on this mission. We're also working on forming two other Horizon Europe Cluster 6 calls, which we have confirmed coordinators for, which is one is BioDiv 01 for forest and freshwater ecosystem restoration, which is a living lab. And lastly, BioDiv 10, a sustainable farming single stage call. So I look forward to building bridges between other Mission Soil projects as well as new partners. So I invite you to reach out and get in touch with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Przemek. I believe this was a very interesting call for contributions. Thanks a lot. Now the last speaker for this event, Richard Ökrin. I hope the pronunciation is correct. Are you connected, Richard?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Over to you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to be talking about biostimulants and about the Terra Carbono project, which is, if we can move to the next slide, please, which is a Hungary-based project and has been developing new biostimulants and manufacturing technologies for them. These biostimulants have used lignite and leonardite as raw material. So this is what we have been focusing till now. So we consider other raw materials in the near future as well to explore. So we have developed new biostimulants. We have tested them. We have concluded the manufacturing scale-up, and it is our conclusion that these both the technology and the products that we could so far deliver, the best fit is the Mediterranean region. So we have decided to relocate the project to Portugal. And this is what we are going to be focusing in a very near future. And for us, it's a move from the prototype level to rolling out the products to the market. If we can move to the next slide, please, which shows what we are offering and what we are seeking. So we offer and we're looking very much collaboration opportunities with other projects, and we would like to share our experience and knowledge with regard to biostimulant development. The ones that we have developed so far, we're focusing on water retention, root development, and we have achieved quite significant demonstrated results in Hungary. And what we are seeking in Portugal and beyond, first of all, project collaborations with existing projects, which, as it was pointed out earlier, offer a lot of potentials, and with new projects which are currently being organized or formulated. We are also looking for potential support that would help to adapt and scale the technology in Portugal and in the Iberian Peninsula at large. We are looking for funding opportunities that would facilitate the development of, as we call, problem solving and very much region-specific solutions, and of course, strategic partnerships with large potential end users. As it was pointed out very interestingly, that soil is not only about science, though it's a very important part of it. So there are a lot of components that when we put them together, then we can achieve successful projects and good results that would allow the support of regenerative agriculture practices. So in this regard, we are interested to talk to existing and upcoming projects, share our knowledge, and look, as it was just mentioned, looking for building new bridges with everybody else out there in the ecosystem. Thank you. This is my contact, and I will be glad to share information and learn about others, how we could collaborate in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. This was the last speech. I would like to thank all the speakers today, and actually call for a long round of applause for them. I believe that Pierpaolo Ruggero has just joined us from remote. Pierpaolo Ruggero is the Italian national representative for the mission SOIL. Pierpaolo, are you connected?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Welcome.
I hope the
connection. Can you hear us?
Good. Yes.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I apologize for not being with you today. I'm in Florence for other business, and I could not attend the rest of the meeting. So please forgive me in case I repeat things that have already been discussed. First of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to bring the perspective of an Italian representative. We just had the last working group meeting with the national representatives in Brussels, remote, talking about the outcomes of the last calls and the next calls of 2026 and 2027. So the soil mission is going to an end, and we have passed more than half of the period of implementation, and it's for this reason important to have also some feedbacks, and I expect also from SOIL-L to receive shortly some outcomes from the monitoring and evaluation process within the Living Labs. The Living Labs call received the highest number of proposals. So this means that the success rate of this call is very low because there are several proposals, and this is very positive for the mission, because it means that the approach that is really the pillar of this mission to achieve 100 living labs and lighthouses before the end of the mission was appreciated by the scientific communities. There are several. It's not just the soil science community, because it's very transdisciplinary. And for this reason, on the other hand, we have to say that the distribution of the living labs across Europe is uneven. There are some biogeographical regions that are well represented, others that are not well represented, and some topics that are represented and others are not represented. So for this reason, also the calls of 2025 have addressed some specific topics, living labs for specific topics, and the living labs dedicated to some biogeographical regions. Among these, I must say again, that there is also another problem, because even within a biogeographical region, there is an uneven distribution. For instance, within the Mediterranean biogeographical region, there are no living labs in Italy, for instance. And in Italy, we have areas like the two big islands in the southern Italy that are at risk land degradation and desertification. And so this is also a problem because, as you have seen from the calls of 2025, there is a dedicated call for continental, alpine, but not for Mediterranean, because the Mediterranean region has reached the number of living labs in relation to the area, the surface area of the Mediterranean region that was expected. So this is a little bit of a problem, and one of the solutions, and this is my invitation for those who have already applied and are already managing living labs, is to network also particularly with other regions where living labs have not been established yet or have been established within other programs. For instance, the Prima Partnership or the NextMed program. There are several living labs, or even the Agroecology Partnership. So it would be nice if we have this international networking of the living labs. We don't have to see the living labs just as local and related to the local stakeholder engagement, but also as an opportunity for the local communities to network internationally with other living labs, either in the same or across biogeographical regions. Another important point is the topics. It is important that we don't address only agricultural soils, for instance, but also forestry, also urban soils, contaminated soils. You have seen there are calls on brown soils, living labs on brown soils in 2025 calls. So this is also important, and the European Commission is trying to balance so that at the end of the implementation of the soil mission program, there is a wide range of situations addressed by the different living labs, and all biogeographical regions are covered as far as possible. Another important point is the duration of the living lab. We know that the living lab process is new. For many scientific communities, it's the first time. It requires strong support from social science and humanities, and there is not everywhere a tradition of collaboration between soil science and the social science and humanities. So it's very important that we try to bridge these gaps and also address the point that the living labs should survive the mission, should be sustainable in the long run, and so this means that they should survive the single project. This means that the soil mission project, which lasts only 3 years, so in 3 years sometimes it's just the time needed to establish a living lab. We have to invest in local organizations and also international organizations that could support the functioning of the living lab beyond the project duration. I think this is also an important point. But last but not least, as I was saying at the beginning, the monitoring and evaluation process, which is important both at the European level but also at the living lab level. There are guidelines provided by SOILL about that. This process is very important because it tracks the learning process within the living lab. It tracks the problems and difficulties that are important. And so it is also for us as a representative to have timely feedbacks on this process is important to feed the process of developing new calls and adapt the new calls to the current needs. So these are basically the messages that I would like to give, but I'm open to any questions or that you would like to address. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Pierpaolo. I believe that the main messages that you shared with us today have been resonating during the event. So focus on the soil needs, the soil challenges at a territorial level, develop your living labs, involve different types of stakeholders to address the requirements of the call text, and adopt a multi-actor approach. I would like to close these events, since we are running a bit late, by thanking a few people, especially those of you who contributed to the organization of this event, especially for ReSoil Foundation, Margherita Caggiano, who spent a lot of time and resources on this event. My Soil Startup colleagues at CREA, Alessio Lasina, Sergio Pellegrini, and from remote, Elisa Bianchetto and Manuela Plutino. And I would like to also thank my Trust IT Services colleagues, Nicole De Sanctis, who interacted with all of you connected from remote today. Fabiana De Carlo moderated the panel, and I also would like to thank Gabriela Rogowska, who supported from remote. Thanks everybody, and all the speakers who joined us today. Thanks everybody. So now, for those of you who have the fortune to participate in person at this event, we are going to have this light networking lunch. So I hope that you will enjoy it. For those who are connected from remote, I would invite you again to sign up for the upcoming webinars and engagement events to learn more about the funding opportunities and what SOILL Startup can offer to you all. Thanks again, everybody.